Designing the largest airliner in the world demands years of intensive and exacting work, and risking billions of euros on one of the most challenging aviation projects ever. All over Europe, 50,000 people, including 6,000 engineers, work on the program at 15 production sites. As tall as an 8-floor building, 3 million spare parts, a wingspan of 80 meters, a takeoff weight of 560 tons, and capacity to carry up to 800 passengers, the A380 is by far the largest airliner ever built. In April 2005, this giant of the skies made commercial aviation history with its first flight. Next came the aircraft's certification by the American and European authorities. 2,500 hours of flight tests in all weather conditions to prove that the A380 is a reliable and safe aeroplane ready for commercial entry into service.
$17.35, 90% band ride, 10% snow, or correction, 10% ice patches. And 2 ones off 17.35 in the air.
Roger, temperature minus 27.
Roger, thanks.
Iqaluit radio, this is Staff 20.
Staff 20, Cal Radio.
Iqaluit radio, Staff 20 on apron 3, request permission to proceed on to runway to taxiway Echo.
Staff 20, proceed on to runway 1735, exit via taxiway Echo.
Staff 20 is proceeding and will report off. Thank you. I remember about 9 years ago when the project was announced as the A3XX, I always had it in the back of my mind that that would be really special if that aircraft, the world's first double-decker jet of the 21st century, could come do its cold weather testing in Iqaluit, because most of the other members of the Airbus family have come and been tested here.
Ici Radio Météo Canada, CIQA 93,3 sur la bande MF. Prévision pour Iqaluit. Pour aujourd'hui, ensoleillé. Vent du nord-ouest de 30 km/h.
A key part of the certification campaign requires the A380 to prove its resistance to extreme weather conditions. These tests are mainly performed on the ground. The aircraft is powered off and left alone for a long icy night at minus 30 degrees Celsius. The plane has to show it can come back to life the following morning. An Airbus operations team is mobilized to prepare for the aircraft's arrival and ensure the airport is ready.
Minus 29 with the wind chill?
No, just the temperatures at minus 29.
Just the temperature at minus 29?
Yes. It was minus 28, and now minus 29 with 20-knot winds.
And one day we had gusts at 26.
So we need to count the wind. It'll be minus 39, minus 40.
Now we're going to really put the aircraft to the test under the most extreme conditions possible. We've come to Iqaluit today because we're sure to have the right temperature, i.e. minus 30. At this time of the year, this is the only place in the world where it's minus 30. That's why we chose this location, because we're almost certain to get these temperatures. It's vital to every test in this mission. The temperature's the important thing, and we're sure to find it here. I'm in charge of all ground logistics, not in flight, just on the ground. In other words, the runway. So, for example, although I know the runway is long enough, I need to know there's not 10 centimeters of ice at the end of the runway and that the turnaround area can be used.
Once it's off, it's not going to come back. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just as you already know, with Emmanuel, he's afraid for these two engines.
It's an old American Air Force base, so the runway's long enough to land safely. We know it can withstand our aircraft. And at the end of the runway, there's a turnaround area for the aircraft. We also have a designated parking spot just for us.
So it looks good.
No, it's perfect.
Park that one over there.
This is important to John for the future of this airport. There'll be more and more routes, longer routes, Arctic routes, and his airport is on the way from Asia to the United States. So, any Asian airline operating a 380 going to the United States knows they can land in Iqaluit if they have the slightest problem. This aircraft's so big that we need a lot of electrical power, so we had additional generators brought in from the US. Today, this aircraft is very energy consuming because of its test installation, and that test installation needs to be operational 24/7.
It was extremely cold. It was ikinaptuviduaralo, as they say here in Iqaluit. That means it was extremely cold. Yeah? Yeah. So it's okay. Whenever you want it, you'll get it. Yeah.
Yeah, because it means all your guys have to be there at 5:30 every day.
That's okay. Whatever time you need it, it will be there. Yeah?
I've never seen that. In no other airport in the world would you find an airport manager so proactive, so motivated that he comes and lends a hand. He's not going to let something like a little bit of wind stop him. It's like a kid waiting for Christmas. He knows he's going to get a present, he's asked for it, and he knows he's going to get it, and he can't wait. And when it comes, he's ecstatic.
Every morning at 5:30?
Not a problem. No problem.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, when you come in the aircraft, there will be hot coffee, bread. Everything will be prepared for you.
Airbus 501, I cannot radio, get in.
We're presently heading about 20 miles from Bilku and then for the ILS runway 35.
Little kids are fascinated. Grown-ups are fascinated with the aircraft. And here we are, we're up here in the Canadian Arctic, and all around the airport, there's people around the fence of all ages. They are just in awe when they see this beautiful aircraft.
Roger, runway 35, and check wind is still holding calm. Again, still a beautiful day. Altimeter 3033.
200. 100. 50. 20. Retard. Retard.
Airbus 501, roger, you can backtrack runway 35, exit via Delta.
Track connected by Delta, thank you.
Le 37, non, mais ouais, un peu plus sur la gauche, parce que là, il y avait le lampadaire et tout ça. Le 37, vous passez sans problème. Voilà, mais là, c'est bon, là, vous êtes parfait, là. Là, vous êtes aligné, c'est nickel. Tout droit, ouais. Et attendez, vous attendez, j'envoie quelqu'un pour vous guider, là. Vous restez en place, j'envoie quelqu'un. Merci.
I'd like to see with regards to the sight glass.
Voilà. Et après, donc, je peux faire ça maintenant, par rapport au sight, et après le idle de tout à l'heure. Il faut réajuster à l'arrière.
Still, I expected worse.
It's true. It's not that freezing.
No, but it grips you, though.
On va laisser passer l'avion.
We're going to let the aircraft cool down from 6 p.m. to 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So that's 15 consecutive hours without electricity. Then tomorrow morning at 9, we're going to power on. Then we'll do an APU start after the 15-hour cold soak, and then start the engines, and so on and so forth every day. We hope to do 3 nights at minus 30 or more. Well, I mean less, you know, more towards below.
Enfin, plus vers le bas.
Environment Canada has issued a hazardous weather conditions bulletin for Wednesday, February 8, 2006. A blizzard warning is maintained for Iqaluit.
Il faut un bout de marin pour l'accrocher.
The one that was running and stopped. We'll warm it up and try it again. We're not sure it's completely bust.
We need to recap on what's left to do depending on the weather. This time, I'd really like to speak to the guys.
In any case, the forecast is that it'll get worse this afternoon.
Oh, damn.
Tonight will be the same. The wind will die down, but the temperature will drop to minus 31, maybe more.
Well, if it's like that over the next few days, suits me.
Every day we have the constant stress of the cold weather. Then there are things beyond our control. The blizzard, for instance, scuppers a day of tests because we can't fly or do ground tests.
I climbed inside the landing gear and there's nothing. There are piles of snow here and there, but it's soft. Doesn't stick. It's okay.
Jackie has always said that this is the most interesting mission because it's the one where there are the most problems. It's true the aircraft didn't behave too badly afterwards. The engines too in the end. No major problems.
Minus 27, minus 26 and climbing. And for tonight they forecast minus 31.
That's the reading from the tower, right?
Yeah, in any case, they're the only ones authorized to take readings.
What are they reading now? Minus 24.7?
No, I asked them to stop at...
1300 hours Zulu. What's that local time, 8?
Generally, under cold conditions, we expect a fair amount of breakage in the aircraft, so we carry a lot of spare parts just in case. The cold is very demanding, not only on the aircraft, but on us as well. We have our rules, we can protect ourselves, and we've protected the aircraft as best we could during its construction. Now we'll see if it's enough.
So when do you think we can launch the INS? Does it need more warming up?
No, it's a good time to start it now.
We can? Right then, let's go. Okay. Nav selection now. That's 1521.
And did you see the landing gear? It looks better than last night.
I saw the battery didn't budge.
No, but look, yesterday the legs is yellow.
The idea is to keep the aircraft on the ground for a specific number of hours in order to perform our engine and air conditioning tests on the ground. The objective of the certification is to rapidly turn around an aircraft. If an airline is forced to reroute or do a stopover in extreme cold, it must be able to efficiently turn the aircraft around without failures.
Shall we try restarting number 2, ground?
Roger, okay to start up number 2.
Right. What do you think happened? Is it just the accumulation of petrol that caused the flames in the rear?
Oui, alors la presse culo, bon, on le voit. Le fente avant, forward vent control fault qui n'existe pas sur l'avion. L'aft non plus n'existe pas. Le secondary supply center info de lance grâce à tête. Je ne comprends pas parce que la centrale nucléaire, moi, elle est verte. Hein. Ouais. Et là, qu'est-ce que tu fais? Très bien. À tout.
Let's be clear. To me, the situation is like this, if you all agree. Engines 1 and 2, they don't count. I don't consider it to be a real startup. The engines were full of snow, and we discovered several things. And I think we did what had to be done. To me, engines 3 and 4 were proper startups. Engine 3 broke, engine 4 worked. So I've got one case that worked, one that failed. We need to try again. We're starting to see our first results, good or bad. It's part of the game. We started up one engine that was frozen, and we think we may have broken the oil pump. Then we started up the remaining engines, and engine 4 worked. The other engines had a few bugs on ignition, but they worked on the second try. So we're looking at what we've got.
A pump, a hydraulic pump burnt out. That's it. The English guys will take care of changing it, and in the meantime we'll open up the reversers to make it easier for them. We're setting up the tent. You can come by and see for yourself. We'll set up an igloo tent to keep them warm. There's a lot of work to do. I don't know if you've seen it, if you've filmed the pump, but there's a lot of work to be done on it. It's a big job. It's a procedure that would take a few hours in the workshop. But here we need half a day, maybe more. The guys will work 2-hour shifts tonight, so it's operational tomorrow morning.
The English guy. There's only one Rolls-Royce mechanic. It's their responsibility. So we need to open up the fan cowls on the FedEx side only. If there are failures, we prefer to find them ourselves during the test period rather than when the aircraft is certified and delivered to the customers. If we find the failure, then we've done our job to perfection. If they find it, it either means there's a bug in our development process, or they encountered a case scenario we did not foresee. But instinctively, we prefer to find the breakdown ourselves. It's the aim of these flight tests.
Yeah, you think the problem could be the spark plug. It broke on one engine. Do we take the risk of breaking it on the others? If we break it on the other engines, it means we're stuck here without an engine pump. I thought it was worth trying the other engines to see if it was a specific case scenario or a generic problem. As we didn't break another one, the result is encouraging. It's my first mission on my own with the engines, so obviously when I see that things are not going as planned, I have to make decisions straight away. Because I am the Airbus engine specialist, the flight test engineer. But I didn't make decisions because I was under pressure. I made them in the same way as I would have done in Toulouse. If I had let the pressure get to me, I might have taken the wrong decision. No, I couldn't do that.
Okay, right at the moment, Airbus A380 MSN 004, it's starting its roll. It's about to do an about turn over on apron 1. And this is another little bit of history here, because this is the first time that the Airbus A380 is actually going to make a takeoff from Canada. I think the most beautiful thing about it is the shape of the wing. It's like very much like a bird. He didn't use much runway to take off.
Stop before the 4,000-foot marker down there.
Yeah, that's affirmative. He did his rotation just right in front of us here at Taxi Echo. Spectacular.
I think it's the first time I've ever felt sad at heart to leave all these people. There was a snowstorm this morning, then the blizzard, and I honestly hoped it would continue all day, just to be able to stay an extra day. Well, that's the weather. In the beginning of the afternoon it cleared and we knew we would be leaving. So yeah, I had a hard time saying goodbye, because I enjoyed spending time with them, with José, John's assistant, John.
Did you ever see the movie The Lord of the Rings? This is my precious.
You really want the adventure to continue, but with the people. Not only with the aircraft, but with the people involved. Yeah, I found it hard to leave.